start in a wide stance. Shoulders roll up, back and down, hands go on your thighs. As you come down, extend that spine. Notice if your shoulders crept up, try and pull them back and down. We're gonna do a couple like that in this supported position. Shoulders pull back and down, back and down. Last time, pull them out of your ears, and then check your chin. Is it dropped? Is it lifted? Well, it's probably lifted because you're trying to see me. But tuck your chin and lengthen out the back of the neck. So from head to tailbone, you're in a straight line. Now send your weight back into your hips, lift your toes, hands to the heart, inhale, big deep breath in. Squeeze those shoulder blades down, take your elbows back, squeeze down and in, let the chest expand. I don't care about the ribs right now, but feel the shoulder blades come together. Open them up, pull them down, one more time, open them up, pull them down, hands back down on your thighs. Roll just your tailbone under, getting a stretch in your low back. Extend it out, find neutral, pull your abs in, shoulders grow out of your ears, tuck your chin, shift your weight into your heels and into your the hips. Come on up, big deep breath in, arms back in that W position, squeeze down shoulder blades together. One more time like that, shoulder blades together, bring it down, tuck just the tailbone under, rounding out that low back, extend, abs in, shoulders out of your ears, ribs in, head in line with your spine. You know what you're doing now. Bring it on up, open those arms, couple of W's with those shoulder blades squeezing together, activating those posture muscles. Last time, squeeze them down, hands on your thighs, roll through that lower back, but not up into your thoracic area. Lengthen out, shoulders out of your ears, ribs in, abs in, weight in your hips and your heels. Big deep breath in, arms open, couple more W's, we're almost done. And then hands down, roll that lower spine, extend it out, abs in, ribs in, weight backwards, and bring it on up. I took a posture workshop the other day, so you get the results. All right, you can turn sideways if you can see yourself on screen, totally up to you. Just check it out and make sure that your ears are over your shoulders, which are over your hips, which are over your knees, which are over your ankles. A lot of times we do one of two things. We lift the chin up to grow tall, or I do this, I arch and lift my ribs. So as you grow tall, think about growing tall through the top back side of your spine, and then gently pull those ribs down. From there, go into a wide position, bend the knees, send the weight back, keep everything else in alignment, neutral spine, parallel with the ground, shift your weight back, inhale, lift it up, exhale, sit it back and down, ribs in, abs in, head in line. I was lifting up. So just a couple more like this, up and down, inhaling and exhaling, feeling that weight shifting back into your hips, using those quads a little bit, pushing up as you go, doing your best not to roll up, right? And making sure you're lifting before you straighten those legs. Just one more time. And then come on up. So whether you're scooping kitty litter or picking up dog poo on the street or whatever, our challenge is to remember, to shift that weight back, bend the knees, and then try and do whatever you need to do. Sometimes we end up here, right? Do your best to support, abs in, and then lifting right back up that way, right? So we'll kind of focus a little bit on ears over shoulders today. Let's just do a little bit of standing work just to keep that alignment. Keep your fingers on your ribs for now. Keep them down as you roll up onto your tippy toes, a little bit of calf work and lifting up and down. If you know your ribs are staying down, feel free to move your hands out, or you can lift and open, whatever you want to do. Random teenagers are okay too. Just a couple more. Last two. Last one. Lift it up, hold it, try and balance. Ribs down, spine tall. Gently, bring that down. All right, weight on your right leg. Left leg is off to the side. Let your right hip go off to the side in a really bad, awkward posture. then push it underneath you. Let it go, push it underneath you. Let it go, push it underneath you. And now just let that left leg hang in space, right hip relaxes and squeezes under, relax and squeeze under. So we're working that whole outer hip area that helps keep us standing upright in that beautiful alignment. So even though your left leg is moving, it's not moving because you're lifting it up and down. It's moving because your hip is going like, cool girl, underneath. Cool girl, right? So come on out of that posture, just a couple more. And relax. You should have felt that in that right hip. So let's bring that right leg up and over. Arms go to, I'm used to saying to the music in a room, up and over. Give me a little bend and a lift up. And then we'll do the other side. So we'll start with weight on that left leg. Right leg can be out here. Your hips go, oh yeah, hey girl. And then under you. Out and under. Out and under. And then when you're ready, that left leg can hang out in space. So that right leg works by pulling up, in and under. That right leg is moving, but not because I'm lifting it. It's moving because of that left hip coming under me. And again, you might feel this all the way down that left side pretty quickly. Couple more. Ooh. And relax. Up and over you go with that left leg. Hips go over to the left, arms to the right. And a little extension and bring it up. All right, last little bit of standing work, just a little quick reminder. We're gonna do our 3 points here. So we're gonna bend our right knee. We're gonna tap our left toes in front and back to center. Over to the right and back to center. Reach back and back to center. So you come forward and out and back. Forward, out, and back. And again, all this is happening because you're bending your right knee to get there. Last two. And last one. Reach it forward and side and back. Step forward with that right leg, step back with the left, tuck the left hip under, bend the knee and drop into it to start to get a beautiful stretch down that leg. Arms come up and together, lift up. You can let those ribs pop, maybe go a little bit over to the left. And then we come center with the weight on that left leg. Knee bends to tap forward, knee bends to tap side, knee bends to go backwards. Adding arms if you want, forward, side, and back. Again, this all happens because of the bend in that left knee. Last time. Beautiful. Step forward with the right leg, back with the left. Ooh, tuck that left hip under, drop into it, arms come up and back, a little to the right if you want. And then bring that up. Okay, so we're gonna roll our mats up. I know we did this a couple weeks ago. But be careful how you do it. I was already So do your best to make it look real party. You want to roll it up as high of a height as you can get. And then sit right on top of that. With a lot of bend in your knees. All right, so let's pull those glutes out from under us so you feel like you're sitting on sit bones. So this is either going to be a test of your kinesthetic awareness, or if you have the camera on yourself also, you can see it. So most of us should be sitting pretty tall right now. ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, right? So notice if you have a little tuck in your hips or a little roundness in your upper back. And if that's the case, pull the glutes out, scoochie forward so you're tipped now. So now that pelvis is tipped, helping you sit taller. Then all we're going to do is hinge forward with that flat back. And that's all we're worried about right now. You can do it by pulling yourself forward, pressing yourself forward, whatever you want to do. Then we're going to sit up and we're going to try and maintain this beautiful height as you start to play with, could your legs go straight? Now, when I go straight, it tips my weight a little forward, which is awesome because I can stay tall. If your legs are straight, flex your toes back toward, or even if they're not straight, flex your toes back towards you. We're going to do a variation of the saw. So turn toward me, and instead of hinging forward like that, we're just going to reach straight forward and straight back with the front arm and the back arm without rotating. Because when we rotate and fold, sometimes we roll like that. So think about lift up and forward, rotate back. And then notice that the back hip come up, put your weight back on that. Inhale back to center. Go the other way, reaching forward, reaching back, rotating. Inhale center, other way. And inhale center, to the back. Inhale center, rotate. Inhale center, rotate. Make sure your toes are still flexed back. You haven't crept into, right? And one more time to the back, and then we'll sit tall. Bend your knees, roll away, get some flexion in that spine for a moment. You don't have to round your upper back. You could round just your lower back. That should feel good. And then we'll come back, and then we'll decide if we can sit with straight legs with feet together, or do we want to have a little bend so that our spine is still tall? Your decision. Arms out into a T, allow that to help you lift up out of your hips. Remember, grow tall through the top back side of that head. Rotate toward me, go one more time, and one more time, inhale back to center. Welcome back. Go the other way, twist, twist, twist. Inhale center, check your big toes, they're still together. To the front, twist, 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 and center. To the back, make sure you're sitting way up out of your hips. Otherwise, we're going to be grinding down on those vertebrae. One of the things that we're trying to avoid. We don't want to get shorter, right? We want to get taller. 2 more times. On this last one, you're going to bend the elbow to push back, push back, push back, and press, press, press. Beautiful. All right, let's use that bolster now. Hopefully you're okay wherever you are in your house, letting your hips be off on the ground. So the bolster is basically underneath my shoulders. If it's not too much cervical extension, I can drop my head all the way back. If that's too much, bring your fingertips here, give yourself a little bit of support. Elbows are on the ground, back of the neck is long. And we mean to just get a nice stretch here, right? So you could also bring your arms out into a cactus position. I'm going to have a little bit of support for my head. Not bad, I'm taking your mat. Taking your mat. What are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about that, cat? Apparently nothing. Anyway, you could be in cactus arms and get a beautiful stretch across that chest. All right, so from there, you can either keep this, right? That's going to add a little extra element, or if you don't want to keep it, you can move it off. You can start with me and decide if you like that or not. Legs in tabletop, but they're going to need to come in a little bit extra right here. And then with those knees staying nice and close, you're just going to do a little side to side. So again, if that's uncomfortable for you, roll off of that bolster. This is just a little quick movement exercise, little limbering up, and then come back to center. Bring your elbows here so you can press yourself up, scoot up, scoot the bolster so it's right behind you, so that when you lie down, it's underneath your hips. So now I have created a pelvic tilt for myself, right? All I have to do is pull my abs in, let my low back drop, and I've got a beautiful pelvic tilt that I created mechanically, not necessarily by using my abs, but I'm gonna use my abs to lift up one leg at a time into tabletop. So I'm in my toe touch position, my knees are gonna be a little closer, not out here, because you can see that's not a 90-degree angle. When you go into your toe touch, you're not gonna touch all the way down because that would put you into spinal extension. You can do this with a heel flex. And you can do it with both legs. Here, sorry, I curled up your mat, I told you. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. She muted me. All right. Think about inhaling as your legs move away, exhaling to bring them back up, trying to take 2 counts as your legs move away, and 4 counts as they come back up. You have the option to extend those legs long lever, and do single leg. Same breathing, nice and slow, or double leg. Since you have this beautiful pelvic tilt created by the mat, really use it. Try not to let that low back pop up at all. Last one, whether your knees are bent or straight, try and hold it out, give yourself a little extra tilt, and then put your hands on that bolster and push it away so that your feet can go on it. So now just take a moment, lie here, let your spine neutral, go into neutral for a moment. All right, feet are on that bolster, so you want to walk them nice and close together, shoulders back and down, ribs down, lifting up into our bridge pose. You can stay there, or you could hover your hands. Now, your bridge is going to be a little bit different because your feet are higher. So to even myself out, I really have to raise up into a little bit of an arch, but we're not necessarily looking for that. So abs in, nice neutral spine, but as you lift up a little higher, if you can, you should feel your glutes and your hammies, right? And then you're just gonna lift your toes, feel those hamstrings work a little more. And then press into your toes as the heels lift a little bit. So they're not literally lifting off of my bolster. I'm just rotating heel down and then toe down without the hips doing this, right? Heel down, toe down, heel down, toe down, doing your best to keep the hips right where they are. Two more. And relax. Stretch that right leg out on the bolster. Maybe if you're lucky, it ends up right underneath your knee. Left knee comes in, get a nice stretch for that low back. And then left leg goes out, right leg comes in. Stretch both legs out, arms up and overhead. Tuck your chin, pull your belly button in, and then you're going to see if you could start a nice slow roll up. If roll ups don't work for you, at some point you're going to put your hands out with equal support and see if maybe you can come up here. Your feet were off the ground, so that should have helped you just a little bit. All right, okay, for now, we get to unroll that mat. Actually, you know what, just unroll it part of the way, sorry, so that you still have something to sit on, but you also have a little bit of support behind you. So we're just gonna hinge back a tiny bit. We're gonna do a baby roll down here, right? So I'm hinged back a little bit. Again, I don't want to tuck and curl. I don't want my shoulders rolled. I don't want my ears or my chin to come forward. Beautiful alignment, shoulders back and down. Deep breath in, exhale. Pull the belly button in, hinge back 1 more inch. Inhale, hold, exhale up. Inhale, exhale and move. Inhale, hold, exhale up. Tiny range of motion, but you're starting from an already tipped back position. Two more. And relax. We're going to sit up on that bump again. We're going to bend our knees this time. And this time you can let that low back pull away and then pull forward into an extension. So like a seated cat-cow, but again, we're kind of focusing just on those hips, that low back area, not as much on that upper back. All right. We're gonna leave that bolster one more time. Hopefully yours is solid and you have something that it doesn't bother you to be on your hands. You're gonna come out into a Pilates push-up position. So your hands are gonna be close together, not way out here, right underneath you. And then you're gonna shift forward until you're on the fronts of your thighs. Then we wanna tuck our belly button in. We wanna tuck our hips underneath us, head in line with those spine, shoulders into your ears, out of your ears, in, out, leave them out, bend the elbows backwards and press straight. So Pilates push up. If you need to move your hands around a little bit, that's fine. Really think about moving, hinging without the belly button leading the way or the hips hiking up. And relax. Go ahead, press back. It should feel pretty good. Your legs are on that bolster. Sit back, hands out in front of you for now. Then walk your hands together. Palms touch, elbows bend, and tap the thumb between your shoulder blades for a beautiful hamstring stretch. The more you sit your hips back and press your elbows forward, the deeper the stretch. Beautiful. Hands come down, undulate forward in your cow, roll back in your cat. Again, you don't necessarily have to round a lot in that upper back area. It's an area that we already round, right? So maybe we don't emphasize that. Instead, we emphasize the squeeze on the cow. All right. Now we get to roll that mat out. Finally, all right, long lying position, arm right underneath your ear, legs straight. Look down and make sure you can't really see your toes. So pull those suckers back, take your top hand and create a little mouse house here. Pull your abs in, pull your tailbone forward so you're stable. If you need this hand on the ground, try and just be on your tippy fingers. If you can put it on your top leg, that'd be awesome. Lift that top leg, get it even with your hip and give me a tiny circle without your whole body moving like that, right? Circle the other way. Now make a bigger circle. And the other way. And now make the biggest circle, sort of a rond de champ. Again, we're trying to keep everything nice and quiet. And then reverse. And bend that knee. Woo, give that hip a little bit of love. You're going to keep that knee bent. Press yourself up. And then just allow that leg to drape across the straight bottom leg. Now here we are. It's what's happening in your spine. Can you scoot back? Can you lift up? Do you need to bend that bottom knee a little bit without scooting away? Just a nice tall stretch here. If you want, you can grab that leg that you just worked by the foot and hinge forward a little bit. All right, that knee that's bent, tuck it under you, and that becomes the bottom leg. And then we lie out nice and straight, arm underneath your ear, look down, try to not see your feet because you're in a long straight line. Hips are tucked, abs are in, top leg lifts, and we do tiny circles. And the other way. And a little bit bigger. And the other way. And then biggest circles you can handle. And the other way. And bend that knee. Give that hip a little love. And then you can let it drape over the bottom straight leg and come up. Let it flip out. Sit up on those sit bones, get as tall as you can. Maybe pull that foot a little bit towards you. And then we're going to flip over onto our hands and knees again. But we're going to drop onto the forearm. Roll that lower body into a cat. Extend it into a cow. And then neutralize by pulling your abs in to support this. Head is going to stay in line. So it has a tendency to want to drop or lift. Try and keep it in line with your spine. Bring your right heel to your right booty. Flex through that heel. And lift that leg up so that if you do look down, you can't see that leg. Push and press a heel towards the ceiling. Good, bring that leg down. Without shifting your weight to your left, do your best to open the leg to the right. Now we're going to split the difference between going straight back and straight out. We're going to go on a little angle, so knee is out, heels are together like a Pilates V, and you go on that angle. And again, I'm trying to keep my weight evenly distributed. I dropped my head, sorry guys. What a bad role model. Almost done. Oh, woo. Hopefully that hip felt that. Take that right leg, if that's the one you worked, bring it forward, scoop the heel a little bit forward, and stay tall in a modified pigeon here. Trying to get a stretch on the outside of that hip. At the same time, shoulders up, back down, lift your chest. If you needed to, you can come up on your fist, but drop the hip. Keep walking that left leg back. And come on back. Once more, we're down on our elbows, roll through your cat, inhale through your cow, and now support yourself. It's not the worst thing in the world if your head drops, just try not to round your upper back, right? Okay. Left heel to left hip, and then poke a hole in the ceiling. Knees come together, we flare to the side. And again, I'm trying not to lean over to my right. Then I'm going to split the difference, heels together. Woo, toes turned out, and up we go. Abs in. Mine wanted to go on vacation. And bring that up. Woo, slide that left leg forward if that's the one you worked. Scoop the foot forward. Come up tall in your pigeon, shoulders out of your ears, hip drops. And then roll all the way over onto your spine. Knees come in here. Woo, little rock side to side. We're going to put the left foot on the ground, right leg over it. Let the knees drop to the left for a quick break. They come up through center just how they are and drop right. Uncross, come up, left leg over right, drop right. And back through center, drop left. All right, quick little hug in, and then feet down on the ground. We're going to bring our arms overhead without lifting up. And as you do that, pull those ribs down so that the arms going overhead doesn't allow those ribs to lift. And then just down, inhale up and over, exhale arms down, inhale up and over, exhale arms down. Adding on, if you want, I'm gonna come up, but I'm not gonna curl. I'm just gonna lift straight up and reach overhead and down. Deep breath in, exhale, lift and reach and come down. Only if you want, don't have to add that, right? You can keep the head down if you want. 2 more like this. Last one, hold it there, support your head for a moment, elbows wide, knees come tabletop, extend the legs, drop the knees or the heels, extend and drop. Option, extend the arms when you extend the legs. Option to stay here, right? It becomes double leg stretch, you can see. You can do the typical movement with double leg stretch, or you keep your head down, right? Again, the arms and the legs are creating levers. As I pull them in opposite directions, that's what causes my low back to want to lift up. And that's where I try to be cautious, keeping my ribs down, even though the weight of my legs and arms want to make them lift. 2 more. And we hold this one. And we'll hug in again. Take a little rock side to side. Let's extend both legs up straight. We're going to do a helpless scissors, meaning we're not going to use our arms. Arms out into a T, palms float to the sky, chin tucks. Take that right leg, bring it forward. Left leg goes far or the same distance away, right? So I'm not going to create an L. I'm trying to do a pair of scissors. I'm going to switch that up. Left leg forward, right leg back. Switch that up. If you want to add the pulse, and switch. And switch. Exhale, pulse, pulse. Inhale, switch. Two more. And we take a quick little break. Soles of the feet together. Let those knees just open. Passive inner thigh stretch. Hopefully getting a little bit into those hip flexors in case they were starting to feel that. Keep the bottom knee on the ground. Roll over and stack yourself up in your clam position. Waistline off the ground. Heels together, toes apart, pivot open. Abs in, hips stacked. Knees stay on the ground. Heels go in the air, pivot open. And relax. Give those hips a little bit of love. We're going to stay on this side for our side plank. So elbow right underneath your shoulder. Shoulder pushes back. Lift up out of it. Engage those lats. Let's tuck that bottom knee back. Top knee back. Stack those hips. And come on up with all 10 toes up in the air. See how that's feeling to you. Adding on, top leg in front, bottom leg behind, both knees off the ground. Or stack it all up. Hips come forward, chest opens back, and hold. And gently come on down. And we're going to pivot over to the other side. Everything stacks up for our clam, arm underneath your ear, heels together, and we pivot open. Good. Now heels in the air, pivot open. Beautiful. Give those hips some love. Press on up, side plank. Elbow underneath you, push it back. That shoulder, lift up out of it, engage those lats. Knees are bent, stack them. All 10 toes up in the air. Option, top leg in front of the bottom one and stack. And option, stack those feet. As you gently come down, pivot and see if you can just move yourself directly into a forward plank. Head in line with your spine. Sorry, I'm going to time us. Shoulders broad, ribs in, abs in, belly button in, tailbone tucked under, thighs are lifted, press to those heels. Almost there. And relax. Ooh, push it back, resting position. Let's undulate through that cow-cat. Again, emphasizing the tuck of the hips, but the extension of that upper back. Next time you come forward in that cow, stay there. Walk your hands a little forward. Roll. And drop the hips and get a little miniature stretch here of your fronts of your thighs. Maybe you bend one knee, it'll engage that hamstring, but also increase that stretch. You can try the other one. You can try both of them, but you decide if that feels okay to you or not. And then relax. And come all the way over onto our spine again. Put those knees in. Take a little break side to side. Left foot on the ground, right knee hugs in. Rotate through that hip socket. And the other way. Right knee comes in. Flex those toes, pull back with your right hand, and then flip your foot through. Try and get lots of space between those feet and toes, or between those toes, muscles, joints, ligaments. Pull back, press up a little bit, take a break, come down a little bit. Press up, come down, last time, press it up. Point and flex, whether you're holding on or not. You can circle, and then back to center. Walk yourself up, nose and knee come close. Stretch that left leg out on the ground. Flex through the heel. Bend your elbows, lift yourself higher. And then come down. Draw a big circle on the ceiling with your right leg. And reverse. And then lay it down. See how that is? Hopefully that feels really good. Bend that right knee, cross the ankle over the left thigh. And then thread your needle. Hug again. Get a little rock side to side. Pull that knee closer so your right leg gets a bigger stretch. We'll hold, shoulders out of your ears, make it long. And then crisscross all the way over, grab your ankles and pull them apart. And then arms out, knees drop left. And back to center, uncross, left knee in. Get some movement through there. And then reach down, pull back on those toes, play with those feet, both hands if you want, whatever you need. And then really press it down, extend it up, pull it in, extend it up, pull it in, last time reach it, point and flex, or move your hand and circle. And then come back to center, stretch that right leg out, walk it up. Point and flex and point, elbows bend, grow tall. Come on down, big circles in one direction, couple times. And then the other way. And then stretch that out. Ah, that should feel really good. Break it across the right leg and thread your needle. Plug it in. The more you hug that knee in, the more you're gonna feel it. A little rocking side to side if you'd like that. And then crisscross all the way, ankles a little apart. Open to a T and drop right. Uncross, come on back, soles of the feet together, a little passive inner thigh stretch. Bring your hands to the outside, bring your knees together, separate your feet, and let the left knee drop in, the right leg drop open, inner thigh, or excuse me, front of the thigh. Back the other way. And then press yourself up on your left elbow. And that should bring you up, and you just need to flip around and both knees are on the ground. We'll move through that cow cat. And then tuck your toes. Lift and hover and press back. And let out if you want. Wide stance, like this, and shake low. Hands on your thighs, roll cat. Inhale cow. Let's think about the beginning of class. Ear over your shoulder, abs in, tailbone back, weight in your heels, lift it up. Find that tall posture. Thank you, guys.